Hello friends, we have the uses of the past continuous or past progressive tense, and now here we have got the second use. First one we have already seen, describing an action that was going on in the past, so for some time. Now today what you find is, you have parallel actions in the past, parallel actions. Example, while I was reading, my children were playing. While I was reading, my children were playing. So two actions, they're parallel, no? Same time, my children were playing. So I was reading and so the two actions was going on at the same time. Understand? Or you have got the sentence while she was singing, we were reading. See that? While she was singing, we were reading. Or we were reading while she was singing. You can write that. Nero was fiddling. You remember, no? Nero was playing violin. Fiddling, no? Was playing violin. When Rome was burning. So that is when Nero was playing violin or fiddling this. What happens when Rome was burning or while Rome was burning? So this parallel action can be expressed by use of while or when. Understand? The questions also you can ask in this. Say, were you playing? Were you reading? Okay, were you cooking while we were eating? So that is a good thing, no? Somebody is cooking and we are eating. Were you cooking while we were eating? So question also you can ask. Were you cooking while we were eating? See that? So parallel actions you can say. Or you can also say, I wasn't doing, so to say, negative. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't doing anything. See? I wasn't doing, and he wasn't doing either. So I wasn't doing anything and he wasn't doing either. He wasn't doing anything. Sir. I wasn't doing anything and he wasn't doing either. That is simple, no? You can do it. And we can also connect like this. They were playing chess, or no, talking and enjoying. They were playing chess, talking and enjoying. They were talking, or you can say they were talking, playing cards, that's better, no? Playing cards and having a good time. So these are parallel actions. Playing, taking cards, etc. So you can have questions, you can have negatives like this. So Were you studying while your father was watching TV? Were you studying while your father was watching TV? Were you mobiling where your father was praying or your parents were praying? Mobiling is a habit now that people have developed. So addicts, some people are addicts with mobiles. The WhatsApp and then what Facebook, all this social media. So nothing wrong with that, but if like anything, when something goes, you are using too much, then of course it has to be somehow controlled, that's all. Some control you have to put some control, that's all. And so he has said, then he said, were you praying while your friends were singing? Were you praying while your friends were singing? So these are different ways of connecting this parallel action. One is why, the other is when, and the other is and. I think it is clear to you. See, more than one, you can see in this case, where you see they were playing chess, talking, and enjoying. So these three actions at a time. Two actions you can say when or why. The classical example is this one. When Nero was playing violin when Rome was burning. See that? A very famous sentence now. Actually the sentence is fiddling. Nero was fiddling when Rome was burning. Or Nero was fiddling while Rome was burning. Understand that? Yes. While the class was going on, some students were standing outside. While the class was going on, some students were standing outside. Some students were sitting, discussing, and arriving at conclusions. Some students were sitting in the canteen, discussing and arriving at certain conclusions while the class was going on. Yes. That is not good, no? Yes. Class is going on, you cannot go to the canteen and sit and discuss. So this is parallel action. Very often it happens now. While it was raining, small kids were playing outside. While it was raining, small kids. This is the habit of children. Everybody does it, no? You remember with nostalgia, when you were young, as soon as you see the clouds, the sky is overcast with clouds, you will run up to your parents and say, hey, we want to go out and play, we want to go out and play. Isn't it? We don't mind about thunderstorm or lightning or anything at that time. So that's also a classical example that you can remember. While it was raining, we were playing outside. While it was raining. Understand? Or you can say, while the train was moving, some people were trying to get in. Very often you find in the railway platforms now, isn't it? While the train was moving, some people were trying to get in. And very often what happens is there can be accidents, isn't it? Yes. So don't do that also. Take some time, say plan your trip in such a way that you reach the platform at least 15 minutes before the train starts. So that's it. Okay, then you can say, while we were preparing for examination, our friends, some of our friends were watching a movie. So we are preparing for examination, friends were watching a movie. So as I told you yesterday, try to make at least 50 sentences of this type. And negative and questions also. Were you playing while we were studying? Were you eating while we were cooking? Were you sleeping while we were working? So questions you can ask like this. So questions and also parallel actions with the and. We were reading and discussing and we were reading, discussing and quarreling or debating about that subject. Debating. So you can use while, you can use when, you can use and When you have more than two, then it is better that you use hands. That's so negative, use of hand, why, when, try, at least make 10, 15, 50 sentences, and I told you, read them aloud. Read them aloud. Even if you are alone, or if you have got a company or friends with you, then first sentence you read, second one the other person will read, third one the third student will read, like that. And you can enjoy it. So that is the way you can make study of grammar pleasurable. As I have mentioned in my post, English grammar at your fingertips, made easy and pleasurable. Bye. See you again.